From Development Studies World News, this is the Interdisciplinary Report with Irma Pavon.
A good afternoon to all of you this Tuesday. I am Irma Pavon bringing you international breaking news. Trees, a public good causing a public outcry. The streets of Hanoi have experienced civil unrest after the government has announced a $3.4 million project to cut down 6,700 trees located in the city. The government has claimed that the trees are feeble and sick and pose a danger for its citizens, but local protesters seem to disagree. Public protests are not a common practice in Hanoi, but 500 agitated citizens have taken to the streets in defense of these trees in a recent demonstration. Online protests have largely gained public attention, and a Facebook group titled 6,700 People for 6,700 Trees has succeeded in receiving over 61,000 likes as concerned citizens are fighting to be heard.
I'm very sad and I worry when knowing about the 6,700 tree felling plan in Hanoi. I think this is also the feeling of the people who are living in Hanoi and in Vietnam in general. I'm sad because such a large number of trees are going to be cut down and replaced, which are on more than 200 streets in Hanoi. Cutting thousands of trees will have a bad effect on Hanoi's beauty. And also, it will affect the city because it will become much hotter when there's less shade from trees. For a long time, trees have played an important role in the spiritual life of the Hanoi citizen. Trees are part of many people's memory, and many artists have written songs and poems about the trees in Hanoi. And finally, if plans relate to people, like the tree felling, these really need to be considered carefully, and practitioners should gather suggestions from experts and citizens.
Today, we bring you live coverage of an important meeting taking place in the Presidential Palace, which may decide the fate of the streets. We have Sina live at the scene. Sina?
Yes, thank you, Irma. Right now, I am in Hanoi. This meeting we're about to witness has brought together a number of stakeholders representing Hanoi's Department of Construction, Vietnam's Greenery Association, the organization 6,700 People for 6,700 Trees, and our local chairman of the Hanoi's People's Committee, Nguyen Te Thao, in an effort to address the interests and concerns of all citizens and actors involved. Let's take a look.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for coming today. You all come from very different backgrounds, which I believe could help address all the issues we have for this meeting today. I am aware that there has been much disagreement resolving around this renovation project, and the goal of this meeting is to communicate some of our conflicted perspectives and to hopefully find a solution. Perhaps we can reach a consensus to meet most, if not all, of our needs. Please, Mr. Smith, can you speak about our renovation project?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Let me take this opportunity to explain to you and to the people of Hanoi why the renovation project is vital for the positive development of our city. To begin with, many of the trees have invasive roots and are destroying our underground infrastructure, like our gas lines and our power lines. Moreover, we need new space to create new and better infrastructure to enable a continuous economic development. But most important, the Hanoi Department of Construction is concerned about people's safety. Many of the existing trees are sick and fragile, posing serious dangers to all of us. We are a vulnerable city and experience natural hazards on a regular basis. The next severe storm will cause these sickly trees to pummel down on the streets, injuring people, if not killing them.
I'd like to respond to that really quick, because there are at least 61,000 supporters of my organization who are not convinced. And we are not convinced that the trees are weak and the trees are feeble, and we don't believe we're in danger. What we are convinced of is that your department is working under ulterior motives, and that essentially this entire tree felling project is most likely driven by profit-seeking goals.
We from the Vietnam Greenery Association, we have the numbers. There are 120,000 trees on the streets of Hanoi, and 70 different species. The vast majority of those trees which are planned to be felled down are not sick. We need more green spaces, we need shade, we need clean air. We cannot sacrifice these for more industrial zones.
I can assure you that the Hanoi Department of Construction is fully aware of your concerns and of the importance of green spaces for the city. That is why we initiated a comprehensive replanting program. Until now, we have already replaced 381 trees with the beautiful species from China. This project is estimated to be completed already by the end of the month.
But it will take years until those trees grow, and it will be years until we have an adequate replacement of the older ones.
But these are not the trees that we know. Many of the trees that you want to cut down are centuries of years old. We owe it to our history, and we owe it to our heritage to maintain these trees. Right now, our government is spending an exorbitant amount of money on this so-called infrastructure project, where there's countless other sectors that require much more development.
Listen, all of you have valid points. I didn't consider all of these implications.
Nevertheless, infrastructure is the crucial factor for economic growth. It is a prerequisite for the further development of our city. Without investments in infrastructure, the city of Hanoi will fail to meet its full potential. Mr. Chairman, don't you see the opportunity at hand? How much we can all profit, gain? How much you can gain, Mr. Chairman?
Oh, interesting argument, Mr. Smith. Listen, everybody, we have been working with the Department of Construction for many years, and I am confident that they are capable of doing this project the best possible way.
Mr. Chairman, you are suggesting to allocate 3.4 million of our taxpayer dollars to a project we simply don't believe in.
We want transparency. We want the details on each and every tree. We want the whole plan publicized. 500 trees have been already cut down. Please postpone the project until it undergoes further investigation. We understand your desire to industrialize and to develop, but at least think of a more sustainable development for the city.
Please, think of the people of Hanoi. Think of the love and the pride that they have for their city and their history. Please, Mr. Chairman, just postpone the project.
Yes, you are right. The people of Hanoi are concerned and with good reasons. So, the new perspective you have offered me from each of the organizations you are representing me has allowed me to see that and change my opinion. The tree felling project will be postponed until further notice and will undergo an investigation before determining its continuation. I am sorry, Mr. Smith. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for the meeting altogether, and that's my final decision.
It seems a decision has been made. The tree project will be postponed. This is Sina Weisner in Hanoi. And with that, Irma Pavon, back to you.
Thank you, Sina. This is good news for the citizens of Hanoi and good news for the trees. Once again, I am Irma Pavon bringing you international breaking news, and thank you for tuning in to the Interdisciplinary Report. We will see you next time and have a good evening.